Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another almost daily walking vlog. Walking with Beau. As you can see, it's raining. It's misting. It's been raining all day. Looks like the rain will be light enough to walk in. So we will. I'm wearing a long sleeve with a shirt and my thicker hoodie. Not my ultra thick winter one, but it's in the 50s. But it's not a cold 50s. A little breezy, as you can tell by that flag. That looks like it's all ratty. So I brought gloves in case my hands get cold, but I don't think they will. And I'm just going to pick a basic 5-mile route tonight. I watched a Memorial Day parade live on YouTube earlier. I want to give special thanks to our veterans. I want to give thanks to my Uncle Skip, who was in Patton's 3rd Army, 4th Armored. He fought all through France and the Ardennes, Battle of the Bulge, all the big ones. They got the job done, and he came out of the war, came home, and went back to whatever normal life would be possible after experiencing that. He drove a half truck with the, I think it was an M50 mounted machine gun on it. 50 caliber, I believe. And he drove a half truck, had a 1911 sidearm, like most people did in World War II. So anyway, every once in a while I will wipe the lens on the GoPro. We had an absolutely beautiful Memorial Day weekend until today. So there's not really any complaints because we got the Woods Walk gun talk in yesterday. And I did end up walking about 5.5 miles yesterday instead of 7. But that's how that works out sometime. I'm not really going to cry about it. So we're going to walk. It'll probably get dark on our walk. Maybe. It'll be dark in about another hour and 20. Might get dark just as we're winding up, perhaps. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to any veterans who may be watching, who sacrificed. See, this is different than Veterans Day. This is Memorial Day for people that died, giving us our freedoms. So a big, huge thank you to veterans who are no longer with us, and to those that were in combat that sacrificed a lot to give us what we have. So thank you very much. One of the best things I watched today was a bugle player for the Marines in Arlington. With an aerial shot, he's standing amid all of the tombstones. There's no words, nobody talking, just him playing taps with his bugle. And it was really beautiful. So hi. That was a definite look like, don't record me, I don't want to be on camera. So I am getting wet now. It's drizzling. Don't know how that's going to look on the lens, and if you've heard me say it before, I really don't like it when it's raining, just for the aspects of, there's a small lens on the camera, so it doesn't take much getting wet to really mess up the picture. You know, if the lens was the size of a pizza, that'd be different. But it's more the size of a pepperoni. Also not using my Bluetooth tonight, because I want to have my ears covered. And like I've said in many walks, I don't like to use my hoodie on my hood unless I have to, because when you put it on, you lose your peripheral vision when walking. So it's easier to get hit crossing intersections, or even, you know, somebody coming up behind you didn't see. I still like to keep watch of that, walking or not. Hoodies aren't good. My fingers are getting cold. I might actually put my gloves on. They're not thick gloves, they're just light gloves. And they also have the material that allows me to touch screen my phone. Well, somebody's smoking pot around here. There's a couple buildings on my walking routes where every time I pass them, it has the heavy smell of pot. And it probably smells like that even when they're not smoking, because they smoke it so much, it's like permeated everything. So anyways, I am uploading yesterday's walk right now. And I was in the middle of watching Paul Harrell's new video with his brother and crew. There's two versions of the video. One is the short version and the other one's the long version. So one's like a 23-minute version. The other one's like an hour and a half. If you want to check it out, it's about a 3-day survival bag, which each crew member had their own bag and opening up the contents while Paul Harrell was there, or his brother. So this was done with Paul Harrell in his current health condition, so that was nice. It looked like he was sharp and in good spirits as usual, so that's really nice. It's worth a watch if you want to check that out if you haven't seen it already. If you subscribe to his channel and click the little bell, you'll get a notification when there's new videos. And the same thing goes for my channel. So, like I've said in the past with Paul Harrell, I'm not making any kind of video. I'm not going to hover over the guy while he's still alive. That's just not the way I am. I'm not going to make a Paul Harrell video for clicks. Milking the Paul Harrell diagnosis. I just don't like doing that. The only way I would ever do something like that is if Paul Harrell was actually being interviewed by me. That would be different. But after he passes, which he has stated he will, this is kind of an inescapable fact of life on his diagnosis. So while he's here, I'll enjoy his content. And also I've separated the fact that his brother is not Paul Harrell. His brother doesn't have very good communication skills, but that's who he chose. And he's not a bad guy. And he does have a lot of experience. And it's kind of funny in this video because I'll wait until this pink-haired lady goes by. Right. So it's none too different between brothers in this video, which I thought was kind of funny. Is Paul Harrell's talking about his 3-day pack using a butane lighter, and his brother was like, well, I use a Zippo, probably because I'm older, he said. And then he said it's also windproof, which I thought was funny because that's the kind of thing brothers do. They have the same idea, but they got to be different on something. So I thought it was interesting. But it's a good watch. I recommend it. I watched the first half hour of the long version. I'll watch the rest later. And yeah, it is raining right now. Might want to get in the habit of wiping off the lens every once in a while. As I've noticed from a couple of past walks in the rain, that I wasn't wiping it frequently enough. Sometimes it doesn't need it, I can't really tell. But I should just get in the habit of wiping it every once in a while. So, rain is what we have today, as you can see. Rain or shine, I will walk and I will be fine. I won't, however, walk when it's too cold. I absolutely friggin' hate that unless I really need to go for a walk. Like a couple of times this past winter when it was 20 degrees or 15 degrees with a wind chill. For example, that day we went to Garcelon Bog. It was about 20 degrees. It was very cold. 34 seconds. It was also very windy, if you remember. I was dressed in several layers, double socks, my insulated boots, and I did just fine. I had my pull-up face covering. As you can see from the water in the puddle here, it's raining pretty good right now. And when we were kids, we used to be out somewhere with my mother, and my dad was working, or when he was laid off and he wasn't working because of winter time. Construction workers usually got laid off, but we would be out and about somewhere and we go, "Mom, it's raining," and she would be like, "Well, you're not made out of sugar, you're not gonna melt." And she was right about that. We do have a waterproof GoPro on my head. As you can see, it's raining pretty hard right now. Hard enough where I am going to put my hood on and sacrifice my peripheral vision. Peripheral. It's going to rain in waves like this. And make sure I don't cover the camera. Wipe it down again. And I wanted to get my walk. It's not freezing cold. I'm not going to catch cold and die, as they say. You absolutely are not going to get a virus from cold weather. I don't care how much it rains or how cold it gets. So, really never understood that when my mom used to say, "You'll catch cold." I really don't think that's going to happen. But I am getting wet. And if I do get soaked, my bones are going to ache. That will happen. Bottom of my pant legs are getting wet now. So I didn't know if it was going to rain this hard or not. But we'll survive. There's no thunderstorms in the neighborhood. It's just rain. I'm sure it'll make for a good visual. Maybe. I can keep my lens dry without moving the camera angle, which I have it pretty tight. So anyways, I got some trail mix that I like, which is peanut butter trail mix. And what that consists of is little pretzel balls or sticks. Sometimes they have sticks. And some peanut butter Reese's candy kind of things. Most of it is peanuts and another kind of nut. Sometimes you get it, it has cashews. Very good quick energy after a walk. Somebody's cooking bacon. That's not fair. I can smell bacon cooking. I know bacon when it's cooking. Nobody coming. I'll jot across. Like right here, when I just cross the street, my peripheral vision is blocked from the hood. That's why I don't like wearing a hood unless I have to. And I have made sure that it's not covering the camera. So, aren't you glad you come walking with me now? You can see me get soaked. I'll still take a shower when I get home. Now right now, there's no way that I could tell if somebody was coming up behind me, losing control of their car and going to hit me. That's something I don't like. I usually like to have cars in front of me. But this part of the route that I took, I'm going to go this way. Rain's letting up a little bit, a tad. Yeah, we're getting a little wet. That's okay. I remember one night I went to opening night, I believe it was May 19th, 2005, for the Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Which, in case you didn't know, the original title for Return of the Jedi was going to be Revenge of the Jedi, until George realized that Jedis aren't about revenge, so he changed the title. Probably was a wise decision. And right now, if you haven't noticed, it's pouring pretty good. And the radar showed these bands of rain. So, while you're watching this, you get to laugh at my dumb ass. We're coming out walking anyway. Actually, I should laugh at my older brother. And I'll explain. Why. As soon as these cars go by. We were going to go shooting last weekend, or the weekend before this one, and my older brother was trying really hard to talk us out of it because of the weather, and we did get a few raindrops. So I made the comment that, well, how many videos have we watched of Paul Harrell shooting out in the elements, getting wet, and he wasn't crying about it like a little baby. I didn't say it like that, but that's basically what I said, and my older brother seemed to take offense by that, by his answer, which was, well, there's also those that would just go tomorrow because the weather's better. So I guess he missed the point and my humor behind it. So I don't mind walking in the rain, which I guess is my point. He would probably be crying like a little baby about it. Now my younger brother and I are different. We don't mind when it's raining. What's important is shooting. And the reason why we didn't wait till the next day is because my brother had to take a flight the next day and he wanted to enjoy the weekend and not feel like he was rushing. So anyway, my older brother could have just opted to wait until Sunday and go shoot by himself. He's at a member at a different range, which he's often quoted as saying, I kind of like going to the other range because they have a table I can shoot off, I can take my time and sight everything. And so anyways, my younger brother and I like to just go shooting and have fun and not sweat the details, because life is short, which was the other comment I made about, you know, now Paul Harrell has cancer and he's going to be passing away. So griping about the weather really isn't a big deal. I mean, you're going to get to go shoot again. So anyway, maybe I'm just ranting for nothing. I don't know. But the rain is going to kind of be off and on. That's what's going to happen. And what I mean by off and on is off is going to be just drizzling with some raindrops, and on is like what it's doing now, which is rain. Anyways, I'm going to pull my hood off because it's really bugging me. I do not like walking with the hood. So we're going to cut over this way. Walk on down. So this guy got nominated by the Libertarian Party at the convention they just had in DC to be on the presidential ticket. A complete idiot. Really have no idea why they keep doing this. His name is Norman Oliver. I believe that's correct. I know his last name, Oliver, is correct. He is a former Democrat. In 2022, openly gay, Rainbow Coalition, 2022, supported the Democrats and the pride parades and marijuana and all this other stuff. And unfortunately, we're going to have to listen to this idiot speaking in news interviews, because they will interview him, like they did with that Gary, the Gary idiot. Remember him? What is Aleppo? The pothead. So, they picked another loser. And, you know, basically what Trump was saying, you know, 3% of the vote. And he'll probably get more than 3% of the vote, because he's definitely going to appeal to these young idiots, these young Gen Z fools, and Gen X definitely are not going to like him. But these younger Gen Z people, and maybe a couple of millennials, are not going to be happy
35 minutes 14 seconds
with Joe Biden being the candidate, because they're not happy with Joe Biden because he's not supporting Hamas. You have to remember, the Democratic Party voter base, these young people, they're all young Marxists now. And this idiot that the Libertarians nominated is going to appeal to them. He will. So that's good news, because RFK is going to be on some of the ballots in some of the states, and he's going to siphon off some of the Democrat vote of people not happy with Biden. This guy, who's a libertarian, leftist, he's obviously a leftist, I mean, just do some research on him, he's going to siphon off some more votes. All of this helps Trump, all of it. So I support that they picked a complete idiot, a leftist, even more left than RFK, who RFK has shown his true colors. Now that Trump has secured the nomination, RFK is now pandering to Biden voters by supporting leftist stuff that he did not really wasn't very vocal about. The other thing with this libertarian guy, he's a vaccine supporter for COVID. So, online activist. That's who the libertarians picked after booing Trump. So I'm sure Trump reached some true libertarians. And new polling has just come out by Real Clear Politics. It says Trump's lead, and his polling numbers are the best he's had since 2016 and 2020. So he's doing very well. You wouldn't know it by watching the media, but he is. Things are getting interesting. Definitely had a good woods walk yesterday. I felt it when I woke up today, which was good. Felt very good. Wow, that's a nice lilac bush. That's a very nice lilac. Well, the rain's let up a lot. This lawn needs to be mowed. That's pretty good tick grass right there. All right. We're moseying on. So this is what I was talking about. This is actually not even misting right now, so that's good. But there'd be bands of rain. It just looked like that on the radar. Hit or miss, depending where you was. So I could have worn my waterproof boots, but I like the fact that my sneakers have reflectors in them. Better to be safe with wet feet, in my opinion. Hope everybody had a really good Memorial Day weekend. It was nice. Saturday I spent that playing records and enjoying the weather in the yard with the BB gun, which that video is uploaded now if you want to check that out. I'm going to make it public when I get home. And also, we're going to have a new firearm to review when it's delivered. The Walther Colt 1911. It's the Colt model 22 caliber. 22 caliber 1911. It's the same 22 caliber that Colt made years and years and years ago, decades ago. Walther bought the rights to it, and they have made a fine product. Many older people on the internet and younger people are both very happy with it. And it is the full size of a 1911, and it's available in different finishes. You can get the FDE. I believe there's an olive drab as well, government, military OD green, and you can get one with a rail built onto the frame for optics underneath the muzzle for a light or whatever you want on it. If you prefer to use a laser sighting. Also, In the FDE, there's different colors with different grips. We have the black polymer grip one coming with the traditional looking 1911 with no rail. 12 rounds. 12 round magazine. And the only complaint I've seen online is
2.5 miles.
the knob on the magazine.
3 minutes 40 seconds.
The lever to depress and move the follower while you're loading it is sharp. It has a very sharp edge, which people have cut their thumbs on. So when that comes in, that's going to get a little rubbing of a 2000 to 3000 grit, either 2 or 4000 grit sandpaper. And we have a dead female squirrel that didn't make it. Poor thing. It didn't make it, folks. It did not make it. So I had to get a picture of that. Now we're still recording my walk. Oh, those flowers smell nice. Starting to rain again. I am wet, but it does not feel like a cold, damp, soaking rain like in the early spring, which wouldn't be fun at all. This is more of a summertime rain, is what it feels like. It's about 58 degrees. It's a nice walk. I like it. I don't mind it. I really don't. A little bit of water running through here where it hasn't been lately because of the rain. So that raccoon we saw was one that obviously got hit by a vehicle. It was a female, it looked like. I'm going to walk out this way because it's a little flooded here, and that grass right there was all pooled up with water. Definitely would have been guaranteed getting wet feet. Now there's one of those vehicles I was talking about that look good in that primer gray, except that's more of a blue, powder blue. But those kind of cars right there in gray with the trim that's black, I really like how that looks. And again, I don't like how it looks for pickup trucks, but I like how it looks with cars. I saw a Mustang that looked like that too. It looked absolutely gorgeous. So there's a ambulance. Sounds like it's having a mechanical issue. Sounds like something with the axle. Which reminds me, we had a vehicle go by our house a few days ago. Actually this weekend. I think it was actually yesterday. One of these sections, the smaller drive axle on a four-wheel drive, actually fell off the vehicle, banging down the road. I guess they didn't know they lost it. And there's a cross bolt that holds that on, and the bolt was gone. So the bolt broke or came off. Somebody didn't put it on properly, something, I don't know. Or it just broke from using it. But it made a hell of a noise from the rear differential, or the front differential. I believe that's what the short one is. But anyway, it made a hell of a noise, and it made even more noise when the two cars afterwards driving by hit it. Pretty sure they did some kind of damage to their cars. Those things are big and they're very heavy. And I put some shoes on to go out and get it, and by the time I went out there, it was gone. So somebody stopped and picked it up. And I didn't see it on the side of the road, so must have been the person that lost it, double backed and picked it up, I guess. Just guessing. So I'm cutting it close as far as getting back before it gets dark. I might have the very last of daylight left when I get back. That's okay. Always looks lighter on here with the auto shutter and the auto ISO setting. It always looks brighter than it is. Which you may have noticed on my eclipse walk when we had that solar eclipse, because it was much darker than what it looked like on the video. It kind of self-adjusted, so it really didn't look like it got dark at all, really, but it was. So I think I'll cross over here. I just want to have traffic coming towards me.
5 seconds.
I don't have snowbanks anymore, so I kind of got in that habit on the other side because of the snow. Had more room to walk. We're going to cross Mary Circle. Marie Circle. M-A-R-I-E, not M-A-R-Y. Kind of nice to go walking out in the rain sometimes. Feel like you're alive. It's a reminder. Everything looks nice and lush right now. That's one thing people always say online. You know, they see video or pictures from Maine. Everything green looks really lush, they say, in the summertime. Lush. Other parts of the country, not so much, I guess. Especially in California and stuff, you get a lot of stuff that stays brown year-round. Brown grass. Everything's brown. Yep. That was a young lady driving that Beetle. And should not have been driving by me that speed without moving over at all. So I had to get out of the way. So maybe walking on the other side was the better idea. I will when I get up here because the sidewalk is on the right hand side of the street. There's one of those gray buggies. That's more like the mini SUV though. Borderline wanting to be a truck. Oh, rain's picking up again. We got bands of rain. Just think of it like, you know, there's one time we were at Fenway Park. Actually, we were there more than once. Went there a lot, actually. But there was one time it was raining. Had a rain delay. And we sat in the rain like this. But we had some plastic. Somebody hooked us up with some plastics. Then there's other times, like my older brother was talking about, where he was at a game and he was underneath, he was on the infield seats underneath, and basically a lot of that is obstructed view because of the poles. But he said one time they were there and it was pouring rain and their seat was dry and the one right in front of them wasn't, and they were getting soaked while they were nice and dry. It was kind of funny. I'll dry this off again. Well, my drying rag's getting wet, so that means hopefully I've been able to restore this to being watchable. I go up this steep hill again. This hill right here is a killer. You always see me coming down it. But I did have a walk recently that I went up it. Yep. It's a hill, all right. And the thing with this hill is it's steep and it's long. Make sure you breathe. That's why I'm not talking. Oh yeah. There we go. Right towards the top. There. Got that out of the way. All right.
Distance 3.5 miles. Time 1 hour 0 minutes 53 seconds.
Sure you could hear that. 3.5 miles. Now this parking lot across the street here, this driveway, a lot of times they'll have a 1960s Ford Mustang, a white one. V6 looks like. It's one of the early ones. I'd be surprised if it was a 64 the first year, but it could be because that's that same body style and it's a V6. And when those first came out, Carroll Shelby, who was tending to the Mustang racing team, Ford racing team, before he came up with the Cobra, which ended up beating Enzo Ferrari's, and Ferrari was used to winning every year. So that was a big deal when this ragtag Ford American company beat the Italians. But anyway, Carroll Shelby was on record for basically saying that the engine they put in the Mustang was a waste of a good car, because it was a little V6. I think it was the same V6 they had used in the Corsair. The one that ended up getting defamed by the media, saying that they left the road and were killing people. And if you go look at the lawsuit that they lost and they had to pay damages, there really wasn't much evidence to indicate that that's what happened. But experts testified and blah blah blah, and Well, who knows? But anyway, I think that's the same motor they put in those first Ford Mustangs, because they already had, basically the Ford Mustang was a redesign of the Corvair or Corsair, whatever one that was that would leave the road and fly through the air and kill people, allegedly. So they basically just redid the body design, and that was the Mustang. Beautiful car. So sometimes that's parked out there. I'm not going to go walk in their driveway to take pictures of it, though they probably wouldn't mind. But if I ever see them out there, I'll say, you mind if I take a couple pictures? I already went through that with the damn chicken coop. I'm not going to have another chicken coop incident with a Mustang. It's kind of intrusive, isn't it? Alright, well, I didn't want to look at your friggin' chickens, alright? They're friggin' ugly like you are. I mean, is that what they expect people to say? Or I'd be flattered somebody wanted to look at my classic car, or my chicken coop. I'd just go out and talk with them, answer any questions. I wouldn't be like, you know, all in a guff about it. I would definitely go out and see what they were doing if they were on private property. But these people didn't even own that house. They were renting it, they said. So, like, well, you can have all the complaints in the world you want. You're a renter. Don't confront me none, legally anyways. So, we'll go up here. I'll go up here till all this cars and headlights get out of the way. We'll cut across here. Alright, like I said, this is going to look a lot lighter out than it is in person. It's pretty much twilight right now. So, the walk will be over soon anyways. Hope you're enjoying it anyways. Brought my little wipey rag this time. Last time, it's like 1/3 of the walk had this big gob of water sitting in the wrong place. I was like, oops. Sorries. So we'll get through this area here before it gets dark, which is good. The rest will be street lights, so I'm not going to bother changing camera settings, because that's just going to look blue at this time of night. So we're cutting through here right at the right time, I guess. I'm going to watch for cars. When it's raining, I've learned people don't expect people to be out walking when it's raining. I don't walk when it's raining very often. You can hear the rain on the leaves. We'll get there. Got the deer crossing sign. When I get past up ahead a little more, I'll cross over. Light traffic tonight, so that's good. yeah, so not a bad walk tonight. We're almost done. I didn't melt. I'm not gonna die. See a flashing red light down there by the chicken coop. Wonder if that's an alarm system.
Distance 4 miles. Time 1 hour 9 minutes 9 seconds.
She said they were having trouble with foxes and chicken hawks and stuff, and raccoons. Raccoons and possums, they eat chickens. So I think they have a motion detector and an alarm system. It's flashing red. I guess. If you know what the hell that is, let me know. I'm not a damn chicken coop expert, okay? See, now if a car comes on this side, the side on the soft there might be wet and muddy after raining all day, but the ground was pretty firm recently. So now I'll cross over to the sidewalk. Our walk will be done shortly anyways. This was a fun walk though, because usually I walk when there's good weather or when it's cold. Now it's not cold. Now it's pouring rain. Yep. Righteous rain, folks. I'm pretty soaked. Took my gloves off because my gloves are soaked. They actually weigh like 5 times more than when I put them on. Well, I told you, walking with me can be interesting. Every walk is different. That's what I'm talking about. I've yet to be caught in a thunderstorm yet, though. That I would not like. I would find shelter somewhere. Yeah, my wifey rag is soaked. Well, that's it. What you get till the end of this walk. We're almost done though. Thank you very much for walking with me in case this turns off. Really enjoyed it. Click like and subscribe. Share the video content for whatever content you like and wish to share with people who may want to see it. Gun content especially. We are going to have that new gun review for the Walther Colt 1911 and 22 coming up. That should be a hoot. Oh, Hoot Nanny. So this battery is going to give out any time now, and I want to thank you very much for watching. So if it quits, I got in my thank yous. We'll see you on the next walk, folks. Hopefully it'll be drier.
Distance 4.5 miles. Time 1 hour 16 minutes 49 seconds.
Oh, I still got about 10 minutes. I still got about 10 minutes of battery, I think. No, my luck, I'll say that and it'll just quit. So if you see the thanks for watching end credit, you'll know that's what happened. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna try to get his picture. Don't hop away yet. It's a frog. Get the night. Wow. Pretty awesome. All right, I got some really good pictures, close-up pictures of a frog in the rain. Pretty cool. Hopefully it doesn't go skitter out in the road and get run over. I knew that was a frog too. I could make him out. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the frog walk. That was cool. I got some good pictures. I used my macro lens. I'm actually going to stick a couple of those pictures at the beginning of the video. How's that? When I edit the video. Well, it's almost dark. Pretty soon it'll be too dark for this camera setting, but the walk's almost over with. Well, that's cool. I'm glad I didn't end the walk. We got that nice shot of the frog, I hope. We got a picture of the ribbit. I felt bad one time. Where we live, pulled in and I ran over a frog that was in the driveway. I felt terrible. I smooshed him. Anyways, have a beautiful rest of week. Hope you had a good Memorial Day. I hope this walk was memorable. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Bye-bye, everybody.